It feels weird just being the two of us, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss.
Now you're missing your friend, aren't you?
Yeah, Ron.
Roy. Well, he will hate the fact that if, how he likes to pretend that he's man of the people.
Yeah.
And that he's like this guy from the northeast of England. What?
Shit. I've got something that will remind us of Ron.
Where is it?
It's in my bag.
Go.
Should I get it?
And while you do that, I will tell all of you watching the show that I messaged Ron because I wasn't sure whether he was here or not. And he said, I'm missing this one. I'm on a boat sailing around Portofino today and heading down to the Italian islands over the next couple of days, so I won't have any signal. Boat is amazing, dude. Hard life, but someone's got to do it. So next time that Rad tries to pretend that he's the man of the people, let's just remind him that he spends his...
So this is to remind us of Ron.
Where have these come from?
Look at those.
Okay, so socks with my face, your face, and Ron's face.
Ron's face. So I got a pair for each of us.
Have you had these made for us, or has someone sent you these?
I don't know.
Follow us on...
I definitely didn't do them, so I got them somehow.
Right. Well, how?
Rebecca got them for us, but I don't know
you're amazing.
From where. I don't know if she had them made, but
follow us on socials. Super socks. Thanks.
So I'm thinking, maybe people should buy these for Christmas.
Are we on a cut for that? Is that something that we can sort out?
Should be our merch.
Well,
anyway.
How nice to start the show with the man who is famous for such awful socks not being
here. So I thought,
yeah, we have
a pair for each of us.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Otmar. Welcome to this episode of High Performance Racing. Sadly, this is an episode with no Rob Smedley because, as we know, he is sunning it up near Portofino. So what I thought would be really nice, okay, listen to this. I want this to be the episode with the most likes on YouTube, the most comments on Spotify, and the most reviews on Apple. So that when he comes back, we can say, we don't
without you, we do better.
Exactly. So wherever you're watching this, hit like on YouTube, take you 10 seconds, like on YouTube, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, mention something on Spotify about how great the show is when it's just the two of us.
And the beauty of it is he never watches the show, so he won't know we've asked.
Exactly.
Anyone to do this. Yeah.
This is a dream. It's
Perfect.
all working out perfectly. Well, we've got a lot to get to, the two of us, because we were in Zandvoort together.
Yep.
We're going to talk about Zandvoort. We're going to be talking about Mercedes and Ferrari and the team order situation and how that kind of impacts things going forwards. We're going to ask the question whether the driver is less important in the 2026 cars. After Liam Lawson hopped into a Red Bull and was a 10th off Max, and Tsunoda, who's not driven for about 10 months, hopped into a Racing Bull and was a 10th off Arvid Lindblad. We're going to talk about me maybe returning to present Formula One. We're going to talk about Bullshit Corner. We're going to reveal dad jokes and all sorts of stuff. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Start with a couple of quick comments from you at home. Thank you so much for these. The Nerd says, one ex-engineer, one ex-team boss, and one ex-F1 journalist walks into a bar. 20 minutes later, Rob's found 3 tents in the bar stool. Otmar has rebuilt the place on half the budget, and Jake has somehow turned the whole thing into a 90-minute podcast. And Mini SLB says, I've got so many good T-shirt ideas for high performance racing. 2 rods don't make a right.
Oh, 2. 3 rods don't. 3 rods don't make a right.
HPR wankings, and I agree, which I think is for you. But listen, I want to start with a comment from the Trudgians, who says, and hi, thanks very much. It's a shame Rad's not here because he would be loving these names. The Trudgians on YouTube
I didn't realize he wasn't coming.
No, I didn't realize either.
I would have done my dark web homework in place of
I
Rod.
didn't realize you had access to his dark web.
No, but you can do it otherwise.
Interesting.
You can ask some of the strategists and get the same information.
Well, he may well join us via the power of voice notes. So if you're missing Rod, we'll do that. The Trudgian says, with the P9 from Alonso and the passing of Biscuit, I can imagine the energy and mood in Aston Martin must feel odd right now. What should the leadership be channeling at the moment? Praise, reflection, push, or still not good enough? I know you wanted to talk about Biscuit, and I think for people that don't know him, you should just mention who he was, how important he was to the Aston Martin team and the teams that came before.
So unfortunately, until he recently passed away, and it happened very quickly within months, he had cancer, didn't realize. I think the first time he went to the doctor, from what I understand, because he was coughing, was just after Suzuka this year, so not long ago. And they told him it could be long COVID, but it was actually cancer. And by the time they found it, he died within weeks. And it's very sad.
Yeah.
62 years old in August.
Why was he so special?
His personality.
Yeah.
He always lifted everybody. He was amazing. And he was at Jordan, and then I rehired him at Force India. And I remember at the very beginning, he was a special person. And, I was the big boss at Force India at the time, and I had a lot going on and a lot to think about. And I think it was one morning I passed him, which is unlike me, because my father used to beat it into me that you say hello to everybody and be respectful. And for whatever reason, I was deep in thought, and I didn't say hi to him or good morning. And then it got back to me through a third party that he was a little bit upset that the boss didn't say good morning. So from that day on, every time I saw him, every time, it was good morning. When we were going home at 10 o'clock at night, I would see Biscuit leaving. I said, morning. And he would always say morning to me. He was a great guy, and he will be missed. He will be missed. And, we should maybe dedicate this whole show to him. You know how you always have something on your phone and you put it up to the camera?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah, definitely.
How do I do
Which camera
that?
JB? The one in the middle or this one here?
Just so we get a picture of him.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to do, actually.
This
Here you
one?
go, right in front of you.
Very good.
There we go. We're dedicating this episode of High Performance Racing to Biscuit and everyone at the Aston Martin team who worked with him. Anyone from an F1 host like me that just chatted to him a few times when he was looking after the tyres, or people that have worked with him intimately like Otmar has for years. This is a show dedicated to a guy who brought so much joy to that team. And I think it's a really important thing just to mention for a moment.
And more than joy, he was a very, very good tire technician.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Jim were brilliant. And Jun, who works there, at least once a year would take him out and buy him dinner and beers and as a thank you, and because they work closely together. Yeah, really, really, really good guy. And he will be missed. Rest in peace.
Absolutely. And one of the things that was nice
Biscuit.
about being in Zandvoort was speaking to the teams, and almost every mechanic or race engineer that I came across is like, oh, I'm really enjoying the new podcast. And when I asked them why, they said it was because you talk about people like us. You talk about the people who are not just the drivers and the team principals. And I think this is an important reminder that someone like Biscuit is a member of a Formula One family. And that is what it's like for these people that are traveling the world together all the time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And speaking of family, he's left a family behind. He was 61, nearly 62. There is a GoFundMe page to help Biscuit's family. And High Performance Racing will contribute £1,000 to that GoFundMe page.
Nice. We will indeed. And this episode is in honor of him.
Yep.
Okay. Please send us a message if you enjoy these shows, wherever you're watching, wherever you're enjoying them. It's lovely to hear from you. Your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions are the things that keeps this show going. And we're going to start with a comment from Brandon Moore, 7358 on YouTube, who says, Lando outshone everyone in the final stint. Mercedes tells Russell to get out of the way. Ferrari too late to pull the trigger, and then put the 10-lap-old softs on Lewis's car out of spite? ? I'm sad Max went out early in the last home Grand Prix. I'm safe to say Zandvoort 2026 was a very entertaining race all around. We were there. What did you think of it?
Totally agree. I would start with the sprint race. It was a sprint race weekend. Not so entertaining.
Yeah.
A bit of a procession. The only overtake was Leclerc on Lando.
Yeah. It's easy to remember because there was only one.
The only one. But what was significant for me was Leclerc got Lando pretty easily.
Yeah.
Kimi came up behind Lando. Lando was complaining about not having rear grip, so he probably had too much rear tire deg. But Kimi couldn't get him, and Leclerc could. On Sunday, and George won it. On Sunday, I was, before the race, pretty certain that George had a good chance at winning it. But I think what happened was from having that rear grip issue at McLaren, Lando, in the sprint race, they fixed it for qualifying. Now I'm guessing, I haven't talked to anyone. And in fixing it, they didn't have the same issue in the race, but Mercedes did. So on the longer stints, if you remember, Kimi was complaining about no rear grip. I got no rear tires. I can't take that line. Almost exactly what happened to McLaren on Saturday, but they got on top of it, and therefore they won the race. And good on them. They did a good job to react. And I think Lando was saying, oh, we can't fix this. We can't fix this. We can't fix this. They did fix it. And I'm wondering if he was just saying that in the media, such that the others
I think so.
didn't look
Because after the
deeply
race
enough.
on Sunday, he just won Hungary. He's then won Zandvoort. He then comes out afterwards and says, "Oh, we don't have a car to win the World Championship." I mean, if they go to Monza in a few days' time, at the next Grand Prix, and they win there, well, then they're suddenly showing they've actually got a car that can win at 3 very different circuits. And
the Monza thing will be very important because they brought an upgrade that did work in Hungary. I think they continued with that upgrade from what I read, some rear brake ducts and maybe a rear wing in Zandvoort. So, and now the upgrade's complete. Let's see how they go in Monza. I still think they're going to be Mercedes' closest competitor at the end of the season now. I said that at the beginning, but it seemed like it was Ferrari. And I think it's ebbing and flowing, the relative performance, due to the fact that not all the upgrades are coming at the same time, and the upgrades are significant. And usually in a year where the regulations are new, you find a lot, right? So your learning curve is very steep. So when you bring that upgrade relative to those who haven't, you make a step. And I think we saw that with Alpine as well. You know, after Racing Bulls had their upgrade, they were significantly quicker than Alpine. It looked like they were going to get them, and now they're there or thereabouts. Had Lindblad had he not had his penalty, would he have finished ahead of Gasly? Probably, but it would have been much closer. Much closer.
I also think that we will see like Mercedes take another step when they bring their upgrades. I saw people after this weekend saying, how can Mercedes not be in a position to be bringing upgrades every race, because they're Mercedes. And I think it's really important to point out to people that at the beginning of the season, they make their planned upgrades. They know what they're going to do. They stick to that program, right?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Cost cap. They have upgrades now that they could bring.
Yeah.
But once you start making those parts, it costs you, and they'll go over the cap. So what they're going to do, my guess is, I think I'm right on this, one more upgrade, Malaysia, Singapore timeframe. That doesn't mean the learning stops. The learning continues in the background. You're still doing CFD work. You're still doing wind tunnel work. You're still making wind tunnel parts. All that's planned. It's just, when do you stop to actually bring that upgrade package? And that's where the money is. When you make real sized car parts, they cost. New wings, new floors, new body work. And I predict they'll have one more big upgrade as opposed to a lot of little ones because they can't afford it. They're at the cap.
I think they're going to need the upgrade as well.
They will.
Just see these other teams really chasing them down now. And
I still think they're going to win the championship, mainly because you're right, they're being chased down. But it's so close up front, people are going to be taking points off each other, and they've got that big lead.
Well, I had a lovely time in Zandvoort. I went with my boy. I was hoping to spend more time with you, but hilariously, and I think people should understand this, you decided to drive to Zandvoort. I texted you during the sprint race to see if you'd be there in time for qualifying. I think you finally got to the circuit at 9 p.m. on Saturday night.
Yeah. It was a nightmare because I was driving through Germany, and I think they call it Stau.
Right.
Just traffic and everywhere.
What's Stau, like the German word for traffic jam or something?
Traffic jam.
Right.
Yeah, for a standstill traffic jam. So I was not far from Nuremberg driving up, and I wrote to a friend of mine, or I called him, and I said, where are you? He said, I'm at home. I said, well, I'm just driving through your town. Anywhere we can watch a sprint race. So he pointed to a hotel. We got to the hotel. They had on the wall, so he met me there to watch a sprint race. So I didn't want to miss it. So I pulled off the motorway in Germany, got to the hotel. I don't know, 90-inch TV on the wall, massive, but not on.
Oh.
So I asked the lady making the coffees, can we watch the Formula One race? She said, I think so. Turned the TV out, couldn't find it. Could not find it. Luckily, there was one fellow there that knew how to run the TV, and they had Sky, and we watched sprint race.
I mean, it was kind of not worth watching, but
no, but I wanted to see it. I didn't want to miss it.
Then you got back in the car after
got back in the car
beers and just carried on the ride.
I had one coffee.
Good.
And I would have had two, but it was so.
One was enough.
It was too much, actually.
Well, it's my first time in Zandvoort because we live in Norfolk. And as you know,
just across the water.
That's literally the closest Grand Prix to my house. So me and my boy, we took a flight, 25 minutes with KLM across the water. Had an amazing weekend with F1 experiences. Your favorite
How good
people.
were they? Yeah.
Amazing. Like Keith Bruce, who runs that, he looks after us. We had the best time. Beautiful grandstand seats, went into Paddock Club, went into Paddock, floated around. It was brilliant.
You know what I like about F1 experiences? Because I've done talks for both Paddock Club as well as F1, as well as Champions Club.
Yeah.
You were probably in Champions Club.
That's right, yeah.
So Champions Club is a little bit less expensive, a little bit more down to earth. You know, you get
proper F1 fans though.
Yeah, hamburgers instead of lobsters.
Yeah, which is me.
But what I like is they place them not over the pit lane and the front straight, but they're actually at a corner where you can see the cars working. And for me, that's a lot better.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? People are obsessed with being on
close to the
either
drivers.
A grandstand on the pit straight, or even like Paddock Club is often right over the garages.
Right over,
or whatever.
exactly.
And literally the
nothing.
start is interesting, but other than that, it's just cars driving in a straight line.
And maybe a pit stop or two.
Yeah, but even then,
to really see the cars working, you got to be in a corner where you get change of direction, you get some braking, some acceleration. That to me is more interesting, and usually that's Champions Club. But Keith has done a great job.
Yeah, it was amazing. I tell you what, though, I feel that Silverstone Village has got to up its game because you walk from the station in Zandvoort, right? I mean, I took some unbelievable videos of these Dutch people that probably weren't even at the race, but they are like, they're playing music out the side of their house, they're dancing, they're drinking. I mean, if you're listening to this, you won't be able to see the videos, but you can hear what the atmosphere was like. This is walking from the circuit to the station. And it's like, as you know, you probably don't know because you've maybe never done it, but it's like a 20-minute walk through the town of Zandvoort. And it just feels like you're part of Formula One. And I felt so sorry for the Dutch fans because you could, when Max crashed out on the third lap, you could feel that, like final Dutch Grand Prix, Max is their guy. Like, and I mean, it was good for the people selling beers because everyone left the grandstands. And by the time like we were 10 laps into the race, the bars were packed and no one was cheering on the racing anymore.
So I unfortunately didn't plan ahead and book a Le shuttle for my car back on Sunday night. So by the time I try to do it,
amateur.
Yeah, schoolboy error. It was all sold out. So I had to stay another night. And I thought to myself, you know, there's that.
Had to stay another night. Oh.
Well, how am I going to get across?
Exactly. Just have to go to a bar.
So I thought to myself, well, I'll stay at that NH hotel, you know, where all the drivers stay.
Yeah.
So you can just walk in and, you know, the team principals stay. We used to stay there. So I thought, you know, Sunday night, all those people are gone. The teams are gone. They're going to have plenty of rooms. And it's an NH, not a fancy, it's a 3-star.
Yeah.
So I walked up to the front desk and I said, do you have a vacancy? I just need a room for tonight. They said, oh, you know, let me check with the manager. I'm thinking, check with the manager? You should know. Anyway, the manager came over. Yeah, we'll give you a room. 759 euros a night. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. It's usually 156 for that. I said, why so much? They said, oh, you know, because of the parties. It's party night on Sunday night. Everyone comes for the parties. I said, there's people coming tonight that weren't here for the race. And she said, yes, they come Sunday night for the parties.
It was incredible.
That's amazing to me.
This is what it sounded like.
So guess what?
Walking, you stayed.
No. No.
You didn't want to pay the 700.
No, I stayed in Amsterdam.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's also a bit of a party.
Amsterdam? Not where I stayed. I walked around the canals and stuff, and that was it.
Man of culture.
Which Grand Prix was the most challenging when it came to sleep?
Any of them going east, China, Japan. So your body's completely out of sync, and then you've got very different temperature to Europe in most cases as well.
I certainly used to think that sleep was all about the hours that you get, but actually I've realised that it's about the quality of the sleep. And I've told you guys, haven't I, about 8 Sleep?
Yes.
This is genuine. I've mentioned it to you both. I've said that it's not just my sleep that's been transformed, it's also my wife Harriet's. And we use the Pod 5. So it's a cover that goes over the top of our mattress and it changes the temperature of the mattress depending on what sort of temperature you like. Are you a hot or a cold sleeper? How does it work for you?
My wife insists on having all of the windows open and all of the and the blinds up. So it's usually very cold and very light very early in the summer.
Well then guys, 8 Sleep is the thing that you need because it cools or heats the bed throughout the night anywhere from 12 degrees to 43 degrees and you can set each side completely independently. So suddenly here we are, 8 Sleep also tracks everything. So your heart rate, your recovery, your deep sleep, data. So you're going to absolutely love it for that reason. They say that 34% more deep sleep is what you get with an 8 Sleep. And for me, I just feel normal again. If you want to try it like I have, like these guys are, then go to 8sleep.com/racing or use the code RACING at the checkout for up to £350 off.
Listen to this. This is walking back to the station after the race. So that is someone who's set up out the front of their house like a music station. There's a DJ, they're dancing. A lot of people smoking biftas. It's just like every house.
Yeah.
Look.
That's what it was like. I stayed in the NH for a couple hours to get rid of the traffic. But it was like that.
Welcome fans. Max Verstappen fan club, kids selling bracelets. You know what? For me, that is exactly what Formula One should be about. I understand the direction it's going. I understand that it's, private equity money. I understand that there's these races that are kind of state-sponsored. But I think it's so great to be at a circuit like that with a genuine passion for Formula One.
I think Formula One needs to have a combination of all that stuff. And, Zandvoort's going, Spa's going, some of the races where you get a multitude of true fans, right? The core are true fans. And I think you need that for the long run.
You're right. Well, I want to talk about a few things. Do you believe that Lando Norris is in title contention?
No.
I don't think so. I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah. And I think Lando will win more races. But like I said before, he's too far behind from a points perspective.
Yeah.
And the others, and when he doesn't win, when he's second or third, there's just the delta in points isn't big enough. And there's too many of them that are so close.
Okay. So if it's not Lando, then it can only really be Lewis Hamilton or George Russell, who are on equal points behind Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Mr. Blinklean on YouTube says, it was the most entertaining race of the year, but I'm unhappy with the Ferrari strategy. However, the race was a 9 out of 10. I'm going to get your thoughts on Ferrari not swapping Lewis and Charles, and we spoke about it in a previous episode.
We did.
Literally, was it in Hungary where we said they should have done the same thing? I think it was.
Yep.
Like they're just these little 2 points here, 3 points there. It all adds up. Let me just, I've got a message. I think this is the right one because look at the amount of voice notes that Robert sent me. Knowing he wasn't on the show, knowing that you might steal his thunder, he's basically sent me about 20 minutes of voice notes with his thoughts of the race.
We're different people. We bring different things. Exactly. I bring dad jokes. He screws them up.
There you go. That's the difference. Well, let me see. I think he sent me a voice note about this. Let's play it.
Right. So what's going on with Ferrari team orders, Mercedes decisiveness, all the rest of it? So I think we've talked about this since the start of at least the middle part of the first half.
Can I just say I miss his waftiness? Already he could have made his point, couldn't he?
Yeah, but what I like about this is we get to hear him and we don't have to look at him.
When Lewis had a better run and he stretched his legs.
This is perfect.
And my opinion from the
start, how Rob should always appear.
Been that if Ferrari
face for radio
to have an impact on this World Championships,
face for voice notes.
To get behind him, and as hard as that is for Charles and the team that sits on that side of the garage with Charles and all the rest of it, and it is hard. I get that, but they all work for Ferrari. And Lewis has had the better run, and that's how it is this year. It doesn't mean to say, you get to the end of the year and all the points get reset and the drivers can go at it again. This is not it's a contracted number one status year on year. It's just that Lewis has had the better run and done the better job. And I think if they're going to steal points from Mercedes, they're going to do that as a team because they haven't got consistently the best car, but they have on occasions got the best car. And they're going to make it count then, and they're going to make sure that Lewis wins. And on all the other occasions, they're just going to make sure that they maximise Lewis's points. This is not me being some kind of Britishist. I know that's not a real word. Or anything like that.
It's not a word, no.
Because it's Lewis. This is just about doing what is the sensible thing for the team and trying to maximise Ferrari's position in the World Championship. I think the indecisiveness and waiting around for it to sort itself out so that the team don't have to make a decision and Lewis somehow keeps racking up more points than Kimi.
I'm just going to put him onto 2.
Any situation which is left unmanaged and there isn't decisive action, whether it's in Formula 1 football or anything, just won't work out. It needs strong management, it needs strong direction, and if they get hold of it now, they might not win the World Championship, but they'll have a bloody good goal, and they might be able to get in between the two Mercedes drivers as well, which is already an achievement in itself. So there you go. I haven't changed my opinion.
He's actually better at 2 times speed. Once I sped it up, he sounded like a normal human being kind of talking. I know you hated that because you weren't able to butt in, which you love to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But the point he's trying to make...
Sesquipedalian comes to mind.
What the hell is sesquipedalian?
It's an adjective in the English language.
Okay.
That an Inu would never.
That's me. That's me, baby.
Anyway, that's what.
Well, what is a sesquipedalian? You have to finish the.
No.
You can't just say the word and not the.
Describes a very long multisyllabic word or a person who habitually uses overly long, complex words.
That is so him. I mean, waftiness is how the F1 racing
world knows him.
Yeah, but now we know him as
sesquipedalian.
He is, in fact, sesquipedalious.
Yes.
Just a quick reminder, please like, subscribe, or share this episode with people if indeed this is the kind of thing that floats your boat when it comes to Formula One. We're well aware it might not, but we enjoy it anyway. So I think this is an interesting one for you because you've sat on the pit wall opposite Ferrari time and time and time again. And they are a team who, with all due respect to you and the work you've done, have a different level of pressure on their decision-making.
I thought you were going to say competence.
There is that as well. But, every little decision they make gets poured over in the Italian media. We've spoken to Rob about it on numerous occasions on this show. It's a different level of scrutiny. And I just wonder whether a combination of that, a combination of knowing they've got Lewis in the car, so they don't want to offend a 7-time world champion, also knowing they've got the adopted son of Ferrari in the car who's probably going to spend his whole career there and has been there since he was bloody 2 years old or whatever. It's almost like they're trying to please the fans, the Ferrari shareholders, Lewis and Charles, therefore you please no one, and you end up making these kinds of poor decisions that can cost you.
You got to focus on what your objective is.
And what the objective surely should be get Lewis to win the world title.
At a team where a driver's world championship for them is more meaningful than the constructors' world championship, right? They've always been like that. I think
this
the
season
only
it's
team,
more likely,
which comes from old man Ferrari.
Yeah.
So if that's your objective, then you make every decision in order to meet that objective, and they're not doing it. And if you're right that they're trying to please everyone and then you please no one, you just got to turn that around. And look, hindsight's a wonderful thing. When you're there and you got to make quick decisions, sometimes they're not as clear to you as when on Monday you're looking back and you say, we should have done that. I'm sure every team that does this, but at Force India, at Racing Point, at every team where I worked, Aston, we would...
I thought you were actively not saying the name at this point.
No, that's Alpine.
A Starman Alpine.
At Aston, we would, after every race, the engineers, the technical director, the team principal would suggest alternative strategies to the strategist to run through and say, had we done this, where would we have finished? Had we done that, where would we have finished? To see what the optimal decisions were and how far off we were from optimal.
Yeah.
And we would learn from that. Now, that's not 100% because you could say, had we done this, we would have finished there. But had we done that, maybe somebody else would have done something different, and that you can't predict. Not yet. But AI is coming where we will be able to predict that kind of stuff very soon.
I mean, I'm sure the team's already using AI for a whole myriad of things, but I think that even with the advent of AI,
but they're not using the AI that's coming because it's not out yet.
That is true.
Agent AI that can reason.
Well, but that's what they're for. That's what they're there for at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's what Fred should be doing. Fred should be going, listen, like, you've got all the data in front of you, but the human emotion says we need to get Lewis past this Charles car because he has a better chance. And I just wonder whether it just it's a little bit McLaren-y for me. It's like
for me,
please everybody.
Once they're on different strategies, you do it.
Yeah,
you just do it. And we used to have a rule that if you let somebody by to attack the car in front, and he can't get by the car in front, but his teammate is now worse off because he let him by. You swap him at the end. It didn't hurt you at all.
Yeah.
But at least you allowed that driver to have a chance at attacking. And I think Lewis is probably thinking today, had I gotten ahead a little bit earlier, I may have finished on that podium.
And all of this is good for Kimi. Everyone taking points off each other.
For
Everyone
sure.
squabbling behind him, knowing there's an upgrade coming before the end of the season for Mercedes. You have backed George show after show, race after race. That's another race down, another race close to the end of the season. It's still, I think, I'm bad at maths, as you know, because I fail all my exams ever, but I think it's 86 points, same as Lewis.
That's a lot now. It's
but if it's a lot for him, then it's also a lot for Lewis. So are we almost saying it's Kimi's now? I don't feel like we're quite there. We're bloody close.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be tough now. You know, I have backed George, and I was thinking after that sprint race, watching it in that German hotel with his shit coffee, I was thinking, he's back. I was right. And then Sunday,
yeah.
And I think it was as Kimi was coming up, George was asking the team to play the team game. I don't know what that meant. I think that meant keep Kimi behind me.
Is that what he was saying?
Yeah. And I think it kind of backfired because when Kimi came up to him, then the team game was let Kimi by. And they did it. It was the right thing to do from a team perspective. They didn't lose any points by swapping him. And Kimi, who's leading the world championship, got more points. And it's that kind of stuff Ferrari should be doing with Lewis.
Yes, 100%. I was lucky enough actually to be in the garage on Sunday morning when George was in there. And it's so interesting watching him at work. He comes in really early. He was going around his side
earlier than Verstappen or Lewis?
Oh, do you know what? Let's just pause a second and talk about this, because you got a lot of kickback for what you said about Lewis.
Yeah, and one of those photographers said, "Oh, Otmar is wrong." Blah blah.
We did
blah.
an entire video on Twitter, like explaining that he is. If you haven't seen it, he's a photographer who works in F1. Then he said, "I go in there. I know that Lewis actively avoids the cameras. He's there early."
And I saw him in Zandvoort.
Oh, what did you say to him?
I said, "Is this the time you're coming in to see which drivers are here?" He got there at like 10 o'clock. I was there at 8:30. How does he know?
What, the photographer?
Yeah, he's making it up.
You see,
I did say that to him. I said, all the drivers are here. You're just getting here. How do you know who came in first?
I think though that when you said those things about Lewis a few shows ago, I think I should have been better at saying actually,
Lewis, go
like
ahead.
Lewis is a proper professional. I think it's impossible to cast aspersions on Lewis's character.
What I'd like to say about Lewis is his work ethic is probably second to none.
Yeah.
You know, it was Lewis and Vettel that had the highest work ethic. The thing with Lewis is people don't know it. I know it because he's pictured or filmed at, you know, the
Met Gala
at the Super Bowl so people think, oh, he's doing all this stuff. Nah, he works really hard.
That shows he's working even harder.
Exactly. And I know that, right?
Yeah.
So my point wasn't that Lewis doesn't work hard. That wasn't my point at all. He perhaps works the hardest. And it was always him and Vettel had that work ethic. So for all those people that thought I was saying he doesn't work hard.
Well, you did say that.
No, I didn't. I just said he comes in wearing that ridiculous stuff for the cameras. That's all I said.
Yeah. But I think that
And I did say Max is usually the first in.
yes, but I also think that we should give Lewis credit for the fact that he's got his own style. He's brave enough to stick with it. I just think that we need to give him massive credit for being the first driver to transition out of Formula One and transcend wider culture. Because I tell you, Max Verstappen does not transcend wider culture.
No.
Lando Norris kind of.
Not like
actually, I don't
Lewis,
think he
though.
does because his culture is still gaming and Formula One.
Yeah.
No one else in the
Has
world of
done it.
F1
I agree.
is at the Met Gala, is at an NFL game, is
At
hanging
the
out
Super
with
Bowl.
musicians, is at the Super Bowl, is exec producing movies. This guy's changed Formula One.
Yep.
And actually, I think it's
exec produced movies. I mean, I think the Formula One movie.
exactly, he was involved in that.
yeah.
And I think
Massively.
I tell you the reason why I think like that moment, which I know was meant like as much comedy as anything else, it's that if you say those things about other drivers, everyone's like, doesn't matter, because they don't have enough of a personality to talk about them. Like Lewis attracts this stuff because he's the guy with the personality.
And he's got a massive following, and rightfully so.
Yeah. So do we backtrack on what we said?
No, I wouldn't wear that stuff.
I'm bloody glad you don't wear that stuff. I wouldn't allow you in this studio if you tried to wear what Lewis wears. I mean, he could make it work,
Look,
but I don't think you can.
the next filming of the podcast,
Yeah.
I will wear a Lewis Hamilton outfit that he is selling because I had a look and he sells some of this stuff. So
Okay.
now it's obvious. I'll buy one, I'll wear one, and we'll see how good I look.
Can you carry it off?
Can I carry it?
That will be interesting.
I will not wear it on the train or the tube getting here, but I'll wear it in the studio.
Fine.
And if you guys think I can carry it off, I'll wear it all the way home.
The video of you wearing the kind of clothes that Lewis wears on the tube in London, that will go viral. I want to talk about the fact that this is interesting. Liam Lawson gets into a Red Bull and is a 10th behind Max Verstappen. Yuki Tsunoda, who's not driven a long time, gets into a Racing Bull and is a 10th behind Arvid Lindblad. And I messaged Rob actually and asked him whether he thinks we've reached an era of the drivers being less important. In an era where like Max Verstappen, by the way, has just signed a new deal of like 50 million a year or something. This answer
Is 17 minutes long.
it's 4 minutes long. Listen how he talks.
This is a yes or no answer. Are drivers less or more important?
So we get there in the end. It goes on for about 4 minutes.
So the answer is we've already answered this.
The answer is we've already answered this. But he still talks for another 4 minutes, despite the fact we've already answered it. And what he actually says, I could maybe play you the last 20 seconds.
You could argue that.
I'm not going to bother. He's basically saying that it's now such a technical job being the Formula One driver. It's not as instinctive. It is being able, really what he refers to is when we spoke about Kimi and George's differences, is that George is still driving a car like you would have driven a car 2, 3, 4 years ago, whereas Kimi understands the earlier braking, not later braking, using the battery deployment, operating the operating system.
Sure.
Rather than being this visceral creature that like defined Ayrton Senna or Nigel Mansell.
Yeah. Different parameters to get lap time out of the car.
Yes.
As opposed to the traditional.
And it's brought everyone together because it's less about the kind of skills you learned in karting and more about can you operate a flight deck behind the wheel of a Formula One car.
With a little bit of the skills that you learned.
Is it a
in karting.
shame is the question, I guess.
I think it is. But, Formula One will be very quick to react because I know Liberty are very conscious on keeping this a human sport. We don't want robots racing around, and if it takes away from the human input into making a car go quick, they'll back off. I mean, we don't have traction control, we don't have ABS, and the reasons for that is to make sure that you have that human input that can differentiate lap time based on the human input. And if this is taking away from that, which it sounds like it is, they'll back up. They'll back it back to where it should be and where the driver can make the difference. And perhaps now the driver doesn't make the difference. What happened to Hadjar? Was he playing tennis on his motorcycle.
Someone said he injured his wrist boxing.
Do you remember when Montoya broke his arm?
Do you remember when Montoya broke his arm?
Yeah, he fell off a motorcycle. He said he was playing tennis. So I think he was playing tennis on his motorcycle.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Who was he? Was that when he was
McLaren.
at McLaren?
Yeah.
And he told, I mean, Ron would have gone.
Well, it's probably in his
haywire.
contract that he couldn't ride dirt bikes, but you can't play tennis.
Are you for real? That
Yeah. He said he broke his arm playing tennis, but it was really on a motorcycle.
There's none of those rules now. I mean, I saw over the break like Liam Lawson doing some insanely impressive things on a dirt bike.
All depends on what your contract says, right? So, like Kimi Räikkönen used to race snowmobiles in Finland under a pseudonym, just because they had in his contract he couldn't race anything else, and he was always racing either dirt bikes or snowmobiles.
Of course he was.
And the pseudonym, James Hunt.
Did he?
Yeah.
I did. Someone told me that.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's great.
I mean, everything about Kimi Räikkönen, just the more you hear about him, the cooler you understand he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is proper.
He used the pseudonym James.
Yeah.
It probably hasn't escaped your attention. It's been pretty hot this summer. Otmar, you've been to a lot of the races.
Hungary was roasting,
Yeah.
absolutely. And different considerations, especially for tires and pressures and degradation and all sorts of things.
And therefore, what you need to do is make sure that your nutrition is on point so you can cope with the hot weather. In your Italian holiday home when we recorded recently, did you take AG1 out there with you?
Certo, prendo sempre I pacchi di viaggio.
What does that mean?
It means I always take the travel packs. The AG1 do the little travel packs, and I always take them with me on holiday or when I'm traveling to Grand Prix or wherever. They're brilliant.
AG1 is a daily core supplement with vitamins, minerals, and good bacteria formulated to support your energy levels, your immune system, and your digestion all in one. And when you're traveling, working long days, or just trying to stay consistent throughout the summer, it's a really easy habit to keep. And that is true, right? You travel a lot, and you both manage to keep your AG1 going?
Yeah. I take the travel packs with me because it's easier than taking all those little pills. It's a lot easier.
How about that? AG1 this month have an exclusive offer for high-performance racing listeners. You will get the full AG1 welcome kit, AG1's Omega-3, plus Otmar's favourite, the exclusive Morning Person cap. You're an official member of the club, aren't you?
Yep, I am now a morning person.
There you go. Head to drinkag1.com/HP Racing to unlock the exclusive offer this month. And there's no risk either. AG1 offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if it's not for you, you can get your first order refunded. If only they gave money back in Formula One if it didn't work out, eh?
Oh boy, a lot of people would be paying. And I used to take my English friends and European friends every year to northern Michigan snowmobiling, and I'll tell you, it was a weekend of racing. It was just great.
This is moving ahead slightly to Bullshit Corner, but it relates to what we're talking about. The Noah Fox YT said on YouTube, Bullshit Corner recommendation, teams not having sister teams. So sister teams should be in Bullshit Corner because, this is a really good point, it allowed Liam Lawson to move up into the Red Bull, having driven the 2026 car. So it allowed Red Bull to kind of gain from a driver that's driven the car all year. They've got an injury to Isaac Hadjar, yet they can still get someone that knows these cars inside out, which is a really good point. It does
a good
change
point.
the playing field.
It is a good point. Other teams have done that with competitors.
Yeah.
Fisichella, just before I got to Force India, went to Ferrari because VJ said, look, Ferrari's an Italian team. Fisi's Italian. Everybody wants to drive for Ferrari, an Italian team. Perfect. He let him go. Mika Salo, same thing. We let him go at BAR. And so it does happen, however, not as readily. Most teams will say, forget it, not happening. But with Red Bull, it's a small advantage.
Well, we'll talk about that on Bullshit Corner in a moment. But to finish up this conversation about the Red Bull Racing Bulls thing, there's a big decision to make, right? I think anyone that really knows what they're talking about.
They should change the names.
You don't like the name Racing Bulls?
Well, it's so close to Red Bull.
Yeah.
So then it's a sister team.
Well, everyone knows anyway. It doesn't matter what you call it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, they've changed the name. Oh my goodness, it must be nothing to do with Red Bull.
Exactly.
Yeah, Toro Rosso was kind of also a giveaway.
Yeah. They should be smarter than that.
Yeah, they should. Then they'd get away with it.
I mean, call it, I don't know. What would you call it?
Otmar.
Simtech or some old name.
Yeah. I want to talk about the fact that we pretty much know Nikola Tsolov from Formula 2 is going to get an F1 seat. We also pretty much know it's going to be in a Racing Bull.
Yeah, see? So if it was like a Simtech, nobody would know.
There you go. So someone has to leave. One of those four has to leave. It's not going to be Max Verstappen because he has a new contract.
Yep. And it wouldn't be Max Verstappen even if he didn't have a new contract.
Okay. It's unlikely, very unlikely to be Isaac Hadjar because he's stepped up into that team and he's matched Max and he's done well.
Unless he breaks his other wrist playing tennis or whatever he did.
You could make a good argument that Arvid Lindblad in his rookie season has been exceptional, mixed it really well with Liam Lawson, has done everything you would want from a rookie driver.
So by the process of elimination, you're saying Lawson?
No, because what I was then going to say is you can argue it shouldn't be Liam Lawson because he has more points than Arvid Lindblad, stepped back up into the Red Bull, drove really well. He's having, without question, the best season of his Formula One career. So my question really for you is, if you are
Red
Laurel
Bull.
Meckies, you're Red Bull.
What would you do?
Yes.
I'd buy another team.
Shut up. Three teams.
Yeah, so I could have...
Yeah, where does it end?
Well, so I could have 6 seats and I'd stick them in. And then it wouldn't be a sister team. You'd have a sister team and a brother team. But if you called them different things, nobody would know. That's what I would do. And who would you buy? Cadillac?
Or just create a 12th team.
Because I think the owner of Cadillac is selling all his sports properties.
Is he?
Yeah, he sold the Lakers recently.
I wonder what's going to happen. It's a whole separate conversation for another day, but I feel very sorry for Graham Loudon.
Yeah.
That happened too quick, too soon. A proper guy, a good F1 guy who knows how to put teams together. But who do you think doesn't drive in the Red Bull stable next year out of the 4 drivers that are in the Red Bulls? I think it is going to be Liam, if you bring Solov in. But it feels like it absolutely shouldn't be. But it also feels like it shouldn't be Lindblad. And it shouldn't be Hadjar, and it won't be Max. So
Lindblad's first year, and he's done a good job.
Why not put Solov in another? Why not?
It's what I was thinking.
To a Cadillac or
That's what I'm thinking. Haas.
Yeah, Haas. Haas is exactly the place he could go.
Yeah, I mean, Toto's done that with George.
Yep.
Toto
Ferrari
did it.
have done it with Behrman.
Yep. Toto did it with Ocon, with me, when he tried to force
Verline. How do you never remember Pascal Verline's name?
Because there's a Verline and a Verdheim
You said that.
in my head. And they're like one letter different. And they were both really good in the junior formulas. And I just have to take a step back to make sure I get it right.
He just won the Formula E World Championship again, Pascal Verline, with Porsche.
And what did Verdheim do?
I have no idea on Verdheim, but we will find out for the next episode. Are you ready to enter this week's Bullshit Corner?
Sure.
Before we get going, we need to do a big shout out here to Walter Fuhrer. You've seen this. Created his own BS Corner website.
Has he?
Have you not? Did I put this in the group? Did you not see it?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I saw it, but I didn't look into it as deeply.
So when
as
I
you
put
guys
messages
did.
in the group, you just ignore them. Is what you're saying?
No, only when they're
From me. bscorner.com. You know what?
Useless.
Big shout out to Walter, and I would love us all to support him. If you're listening to this episode, wherever you are, just have a look at bscorner.com. I mean, what he's done is created this website where you can go on, you can see the you can see the wankings for Bullshit Corner, and you can wank them differently to the way that we've wanked them.
And Walter.
Yeah. Walter and wanking both start with a W.
Is he German?
Maybe.
Sounds like. What's his last name?
Walter Fuhrer. Furer. So he could be Walter Fuhrer.
Ask him if Hawaii is pronounced Hawaii or Hawaii.
And then you'll know. Is that the test for if someone's German?
Yeah, and you know what they usually say? Whatever you want.
Dad jokes are still to come. Look at this. Welcome to Bullshit Corner. I'm looking at the website now. Bullshit Corner is a segment on the Formula One podcast, High Performance Racing, where co-hosts Jake, I'm the host really, you're kind of, myself and I, Rob Smedley, discuss, debate and wank various fan-submitted topics. Then you can share a topic to Bullshit Corner. He's then got HPR's rankings. Then you can click and you can watch that moment that we spoke about.
It's really cool.
It's absolutely brilliant what he's done.
He's done a great job.
It's all there. So thank you so much, Walter. And I'd love people to go to bscorner.com. But right now we are going to decide whether something goes into Bullshit Corner. And here we go. BS Corner. Pebbles Cruise. I'd like to enter to BS Corner non-visible race numbers on the car's livery. Make them visible so you know who's about to drive by you without the need for a caffeinated commentator yelling in your ear. Now, let me just caveat this a bit, that I was lucky enough to go into the paddock club on the first turn, thanks to F1 experiences in Zandvoort. And as the cars were coming past, Lewis with his bright yellow helmet, we knew that where Kimi and George were on the tracks. But by the time you got down to the Cadillacs, the Hasses, the Audis, the Racing Bulls, they were driving past. And Seb, who's 10, was naming all the drivers. And then he was literally going, meow, Bortoleto or Hulkenberg, meow, Behrman or Ocon. You cannot tell. I don't think you can tell. It helps at home with the commentators. But if you're at the circuit, you don't know.
Let me have a look.
And I do think there has to be a better way than just having the red or the yellow on the little thing on the, whatever that's called, on the top of the car.
The camera or the roll hoop?
Yeah, on the roll hoop. You're meant to be. No fan can see that.
Look, for me, numbers are important, but you shouldn't make them so big that a fan can discern what driver it is by the number, because it takes away from sponsorship space.
Fuck. You are such a Formula One person at heart.
So
you're a fan first, not a businessman first.
But my point is going to be, instead of having just the roll hoop camera a different color, make the entire halo a different color.
Yeah.
So then you can see from more than the number, because where are you going to put the number? That halo, independent of what angle you're looking at, that number you may only be able to see from the side. That might not be the angle that you have when you're looking at the track. But that halo wraps around the entire car. And make one bright orange and make the other one whatever you want, fluorescent green. So those are the two colors that are most visible to the human eye. It's got the frequency that is most visible, which is why you see high-vis jackets are either orange or fluorescent green or yellow, whatever you want to call that.
Well,
so do that with
yellow or green.
Yeah, do that with the roll hoop. And then the number doesn't matter. You'll know who it is. And you even said it. Oh, you can see Lewis's high-vis helmet because it's the right color. And then you know it's Lewis. And if it's not Lewis, because there's only two cars, it's got to be Leclerc.
So does it go into bullshit corner then? Non-visible race numbers?
No.
It's not strong enough for you?
No. I mean, you could put it in and see what Walter Führer's ranking would do. But for me, not strong enough.
Okay. Well, then it doesn't go in.
Well, what does Rob say? Why don't we put him on for 15 minutes?
I guarantee
yes
you,
or no.
I guarantee you if I call him, hey Siri, call Rob Smedley, I guarantee that he doesn't answer his phone.
Smedley, mobile.
Yeah. I mean, some of the fans like longer episodes.
Hold on, that's not even an Italian ringtone. He's probably just lying in bed.
He's probably having a gelato in Oxford and he's saying he's in Italy. Ask him. There's a ice cream van right by where he lives called Alfonso's. I bet you that's where he is. And he's saying he's in Italy because Alfonso's Italian.
This is great content, isn't it, by the way? This is what people come to our podcast for, this kind of stuff.
Really?
Rob Smedley. Can't take your call right now.
You know what? I'm surprised it said.
Oh, wait. What the?
I'm surprised it didn't say Rob Smedley in Italy. Can't take your phone call right now.
Hey, Rob, it's Jake and Otmar.
There he is.
Oh, he's ringing us back. Hello?
Yeah? What you want?
What are you up to?
Gelato.
I am sailing past
Give it up.
Liguria in Italia.
I'm sailing past Alfonso's ice cream van in
we know you're not
Summertown.
even in the. We know you're in the UK because it was a UK ringtone, liar.
Yeah, I just couldn't be asked coming in. Have you two mofos started yet?
Yeah, we're
No,
you
no.
two mofos.
No.
A question.
Well, we're
for
about
you.
going to go into bullshit corner as the first thing.
Should non-visible
What is?
should non-visible race numbers on Formula One cars be in bullshit corner?
non-visible. I don't even know what a non-visible.
A small race number where you can't see it from the stands.
Oh no! It's a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I know what you mean. And also, like, there should be a standardized. This is very nerdy, but there should be like a standardized font rather than the horrible thing where like they're all a bit slanted. Or
He's on mute. Of course, he said there should be a standardized font.
Yeah. Ask him like a Gothic letter or something.
What would you go for? Times New Roman?
I would go for Times New Roman, yeah, or like the typewriter, which is Times New Roman, isn't it? Whatever is the most old-fashioned one.
We can organise that.
Yeah, we can calligraphy onto the.
Look, we're going to let you get back to your back garden in Oxford. Give us a dad joke. Would you mind?
I sent you some earlier. Why you put me under pressure like this?
All right,
I've got one for you.
Go on then.
I've got one for you. This is not. This is terrible.
We lost him.
Good.
This is a terror. He did actually send me one earlier.
Yeah, he's going to fuck it up anyway.
Okay, well, should we listen to the one that he sent us on?
Yeah.
Oh, he's ringing. Oh my God, he's desperate. He's ringing back. Hello, Rob.
Did you just put the phone down on me? That was a terrible. Your colleague.
No, he keeps cutting out.
All right. Okay. Well,
go on then.
Listen to my voice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just
listen
right.
To my.
Just right. I'm saying.
Here it is.
So after more than 25 years of marriage, Lucy and I are going to try a long-distance relationship. I have to stay no less than 100 meters from her, and the police have also said that I'm not allowed to call her my wife anymore. Plays less of a part because it's much less about natural talent.
What? That's not even a joke.
What was that?
That was his attempt at a joke.
Yeah, I told you he'd screw it up.
Where's the punchline?
More than 25 years of marriage, Lucy and I are going to try a long-distance relationship. I have to stay no less than 100 meters from her, and the police have also said that I'm not allowed to call her my wife anymore.
What are we?
I don't know. But, he brings up a good point. And Formula One is hard in many ways.
Yeah.
And in one way that I've seen over my 28 years is it can have a serious impact on families because of all the travel. Especially now, there's 24 races, 25 events with winter testing. The mechanics especially, they're gone for the entire week. If you're a race engineer, you go Wednesday to Sunday and you're back Sunday night. And if you're a senior manager, you go Thursday to Sunday. But if you're a mechanic, you get there on Monday and you come home on Monday 25 times a year. It's a lot. So I made a concerted effort to make sure that my relationship with Rebecca stayed strong. But the one mistake I made is I thought it was going to work. I bought, probably 10 years into my Formula One career, I bought a waterbed. I thought this will do the trick. You know what happened? We drifted apart.
It's good. Robert said, listen to my voice message thing from earlier for the dad joke. Signal shite on this thing. Doesn't help being on satellite Wi-Fi. Don't get much for your money nowadays, I'm afraid, when chartering boats. Anyway, enjoy the record without me and don't fuck it up and get us cancelled.
What, on YouTube? That he bought from you?
I don't think you can even get cancelled on YouTube, can you?
Yeah.
I'm going to dedicate today's dad jokes to the fans. Andrew F. Wallace, 4582, says, how does the moon cut its hair?
Mm-hmm.
Eclipse it. I mean, that's kind of relevant.
It's relevant to what happened.
And Anu Patel on Spotify, what's a racing driver's favourite type of music? Anything that's a good track.
Ah.
All right.
Like
Thank you so much. We miss Rob, obviously, but hopefully he's topping up his town in Oxford, in the back garden, while pretending to be on a yacht.
Yeah.
And thank you for being with us. Great stories.
Just didn't want to take
Great
that
knowledge.
train down and all that other stuff.
Well, at least he might have been here on time. Please, wherever you enjoy this podcast, make sure that you hit the like button. Remember, we're trying to make this the most liked episode
on YouTube without Rob. So hit the like button now on YouTube as soon as you finish. Are you going to do the same?
I am.
Give us a review on Apple Podcasts or leave us a message or a review on Spotify. It makes a massive difference to us. And while Otmar gives a thumbs up to this episode of
High
Performance Racing. That is so good
without him. People. Yeah, he didn't screw it up. I got another picture that I want to share with everyone, if I may.
I always think the photos work especially well on podcasts.
Yeah, especially the YouTube
but
ones.
But you can now watch the video of this on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can watch the video on Spotify, watch the video on Apple Podcasts, and watch it on YouTube. So really, it's kind of video everywhere.
I don't know if I've...
This is a great, strong end to the show. You've been unable to find a photo on your phone.
Yeah, it's the one... Did you send it to me?
What was it of?
It's the one where they think competitors, what is it, Up to Speed? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're different shows. And we were watching the race with Naomi.
Oh, yeah, and she gives us the bird.
Yeah. I thought, I told her we're not competitors. And boy,
I'll put that on my Instagram.
Is that where I saw it?
Yeah, you would have seen it on my Instagram, yeah.
So I wanted to share that with everyone because I thought...
She's good fun, man. I like Naomi. There it is. I just think in the world of podcasting, there's no enemies.
No.
We're all friends.
We're all
We
friends.
do a very different job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed that. That's it. I've been Jake Humphrey.
Otmar Safnauer.
No Rob Smedley on today's High
Performance Racing.
Bye.